All right, President Trump vowing to crack down on border security. As DHS estimates, we can currently expect 10,000 migrants at our doorstep in a matter of weeks. So what does Congress need to do? Florida GOP Senator Marco Rubio is all over this. The son of two immigrants himself, who's also worked hard on immigration reform, some type of compromise. Senator, what do you think this weekend's surge at our border does for this issue?
Well, hopefully it makes people pay more attention to the catastrophe that we have on our hands with regards to all this. Let's begin with a simple predicate. We are a nation that has always welcomed immigrants. We continue to welcome immigrants. We want to welcome immigrants into the United States. There has to be a process for immigration, a process that controls the number of people, who they are, we know more about them, the pace in which they enter, how many people every year. There has to be a process for that. Just like there is for charity, like there is for anything, there has to be a process for people to access generosity. What's happening in the border is a deliberate effort to test that system and to sort of create a crisis around it. And I think what you saw this weekend, look, I saw the images. No, I don't want to see images of kids being hit with tear gas and women and people running from that. No one likes those images. What they didn't take pictures of is the hundreds and hundreds of people that were not women and were not children who were throwing rocks and bottles at law enforcement authorities. And by the way, they weren't just attacking U.S. border security, they were also attacking Mexican authorities on the other side. Now, I'm not saying that's everybody there. I'm saying that's enough people there that it warranted the response that you saw to get control of the situation. So what we need to do now, we need physical barriers on the border that allow us to control the flow of traffic. And we also need by the way, one of the best things that we can do, if possible, and we're going to have to re-examine what we're doing about it now, is help countries like Honduras and Guatemala deal with the reasons why people are leaving in the first place. That's the ultimate border security. But in the short term, we have to have the physical structures that protect our border and funnel traffic in a way that border security and authorities can track it better and control it better.
All right, so Senator, just to get clarification, for people who looked those images and took different things from it, just know it's not unique. There was just video there. In 2012, the President Obama administration used tear gas 26 times at the border. 2013, it's 27 times. In 2014, 15 times. So now you have a situation where the numbers just about line up here in 2018. So it's not new. So if Democrats and Republicans really know this and don't want to play politics with this, what can we expect in this lame duck session? The president wants $5 billion for the wall. Schumer says, I have 1.6 I'm looking to put for the wall. What's the reality? What can you come together on?
Yeah, the thing is, people view this as, oh, well, if you take half, that should be enough. You need enough to finish it. It's like if I came to you and said, all right, I have a house for sale, but I'll only sell you the second floor, but not the first floor. And you're like, well, I can't have a second floor without a first floor. The wall's similar to that. Having a partial wall is not enough. This is a project that's designed to flow traffic. What you want to do is you want to cut off areas where people can cross so that they can only cross in certain places, and then you can monitor those places. So if the wall is not built all 800 miles, if you don't have the entire system in place, none of it works. It's not one of those things where you can have half of it. Half of it is as good as none of it. And the purpose of a wall is not to keep people out per se, but to funnel the people that are allowed to come in, to make sure they are entering through points of entry that we can monitor for everything from human trafficking to drugs and contraband and vice versa. And so it's actually safer for everybody. That is the purpose of the wall. That's the reason why we have all those little barricades and stuff at TSA. So people have to walk through a line, and you can monitor people when they walk through the line at the airport. Well, it's a very similar concept.
I guess you're not very hopeful of getting something done in the lame duck session and with the what could be a hostile house to what you want to do. You also care a lot about what's happening in China as the president sits down with President Xi shortly. You hope the president brings up religious freedom over there because they're cracking down big time, especially on Muslims, correct?
Yeah, so in the Uyghur region, they are cracking down on them in a way that we haven't seen in a long time. It could be up to over 1 million people, but certainly hundreds of thousands in basically concentration camps. I mean, detention camps where they are jailing people because of their religion. And the world is only, and you know what's really been outrageous about this is that all over the world, even many of the Muslim countries have been silent about it because China has apparently bought their silence. It's an outrage. I want the president to raise that, and I also want the president to raise the broader issues of our relationship with China. They're cheating and they're stealing American intellectual property, their unfair trade practices, and I hope we don't make the first offer because Xi has made it a career of allowing his, in a deadlock situation, he sits back and lets the other side offer first so you can negotiate against yourself.
Senator, thanks so much. Appreciate it. We'll look forward to seeing what happens at the G20. Coming up next.